What's going on, everyone? This is Kendrick Dix for Viral on Connect TV. We're following a tragic and developing story coming out of the boxing world. Reports confirm that heavyweight boxing star Anthony Joshua was injured in a serious car crash that tragically resulted in the loss of two lives, believed to be his close friends of the fighter. Emergency responders arrived on the scene. Joshua was transported for medical evaluation. At this time, his injuries are not to believe life threatening, but the emotional toll of this accident has sent shockwaves through the sports community. Fans, fellow fighters, and public figures have taken to social media to express condolences to support, calling this a heartbreaking reminder how quickly life can change. At this stage, details surrounding the crash remains limited, and authorities have not released full information. We want to be clear: this report is based on what publicly is available. No fault has been assigned as this investigation continues. Our thoughts are with the family affected and everyone impacted by this tragedy. For updates as this story develops, make sure you subscribe to Connect TV. Breaking out of the boxing world tonight, former heavyweight champion Anthony Joshua was reported injured in a serious car crash that tragically claimed the lives of two individuals believed to be close friends. Emergency responders were dispatched to the scene and Joshua was taken for a medical evaluation. At this time, his injuries are not to be believed life-threatening. Authorities say the investigation is ongoing and few details have been released. Our thoughts are with the family affected by this tragic loss. Stay with Viral on Connect TV for updates as this story develops. The boxing world is reeling tonight after a tragic developing incident involving heavyweight star Anthony Joshua. Joshua was reportedly having injuries in a serious car crash that claimed the lives of two individuals believed to be close friends of the former champion. Emergency crews responded to the scene and Joshua was transported to a medical evaluation. At this hour, his injuries are not believed to be life-threatening, but the emotional weight of this tragedy has sent shockwaves through the sports community. Tributes and messages of support have poured in from fans, fellow fighters. Many quickly called the incident a sobering reminder how quickly life can change, even for the world's biggest stars. Authorities say the investigation remains ongoing. Full details surrounding the crash has not been released. I want to be clear, this report reflects information available at this time. It does not speculate or assign fault. Our thoughts are with the families affected by this heartbreaking loss. For continued updates and responsible reporting, you are watching Connect TV.
Two foreign nationals were killed with one confirmed to be Abdul Latif, also known as Healthy Mindset on Instagram. He was killed in a car crash involving Anthony Joshua in Nigeria, as footage shows how the boxing star came within inches of death. The boxing champion, 36, was on his way to see family when the Lexus SUV he was traveling in the back of smashed into a stationary truck shortly after 11 a.m. today on the Lagos-Ibadan Expressway in Markoom. Images of the SUV's crumpled wreckage were released by Nigerian officials, while a Mitsubishi believed to be part of Joshua's convoy sat undamaged just yards away. 5 people were involved in the collision, with photos revealing how the vehicle was completely destroyed, with the car's doors ripped out and the roof smashed out of place. Footage posted online earlier show the former heavyweight world champion shirtless and looking dazed as he sat in the wrecked vehicle among shattered glass. But while 2 of the 5 people involved in the collision died, Joshua miraculously cheated death and was later seen in the front seat of an emergency vehicle speaking to officials. The Ogun state government confirmed the 2 fatalities were foreign nationals. Preliminary reports indicate that 2 male foreign nationals died on the spot, they said. Their remains have since been deposited at the Livewell morgue in Sagamu. It is understood that Joshua was seated behind the driver, along with another passenger, when the crash occurred. His security detail followed behind the Lexus. Authorities said the SUV is believed to have been traveling beyond the legally prescribed speed limit.
Breaking news coming into us, the news from police in Nigeria that Anthony Joshua, the 36-year-old Olympic gold medalist and 2 times heavyweight champion boxer, has been injured in a car crash in Nigeria. We understand, according to reports from the authorities in the country, that he has sustained minor injuries but is, quote, fine.
Anthony Joshua will just win fight against Jake Paul. You know how many millions of dollars they pay that boy? But he still come Nigeria, he can't flex. Now the guy can't get accident though. Two people now ain't buy in leg like this. They try to come out and from under the distance, never see and come out. And now this trailer, we be see. I don't know why trailer go they drive for middle of the day. All this trailer. And again, our bad road against cost like this now. Share people with their abroad go won't come Nigeria. When I go, they make people with their abroad they fear to even come back to their country. And which kind of wala be this? Especially when you come Nigeria, we say you want come flex now. Which kind problem with this? Who go hear this kind of news now? We go there abroad, we go want come Nigeria. We need to work on this road and everything. All these things don't tire person. Bad road, bad everything just bad.
Have you seen the video showcasing the horrible car accident that Anthony Joshua was involved in? Fortunately, he is okay. Unfortunately, 2 people did die. I do want to talk about how the lack of medical infrastructure in a lot of these countries showcases that when the country only works for a handful of wealthy people, eventually it will work for none. Because what do you mean that Anthony Joshua, our champion, was just involved in a horrifying car accident? I mean, the car is so torn up. I'm surprised anybody survived, honestly. And he is not able to immediately receive medical care. There are no ambulances around. He was placed into a police vehicle and immediately taken to a hospital. If someone like Anthony Joshua, with his stature and his wealth, is not able to immediately receive medical care in Nigeria, the rest of us going there for Dirty December are completely fucked. I remember a couple years ago during the NSARS movement, when Tio Savage was talking about how a lot of wealthy Nigerians really fear needing medical immediate care because there's really no infrastructure for that. And when you don't have time to get on a jet and fly to a developed country to get the care that you need to save your life, your money is not going to be able to save you. Your connections cannot save you because at the end of the day, you're actually just human like everybody else. For 2 to 4 weeks every single year, we completely romanticize these countries, right? As a place where you have so much fun and you connect with family, you connect with your roots, and you connect with culture, and it's amazing. The truth of the matter is that a lot of us are sidestepping the very poor people that we see on the streets. We hop in our fancy cars with our drivers. We bring our fancy clothes. We walk on these horrible streets and just hope that, these really bad roads don't mess up our nice shoes. And after we're done clubbing at 6, 7 a.m., we then go back to our gated communities. And then after a couple of weeks of all the enjoyment, we then just go home back to our regular lives. And we end up actually leaving these African countries a lot worse than how they were before. What happens is the thousands of dollars that you're spending, the locals actually never see that, the everyday locals. Only the handful of people that are pulling together these Dirty December experiences are actually seeing that money. What the locals do get are more expensive cities. So we're driving up the cost of these cities and we're putting so much money into these countries. There's no infrastructure that's being developed. There's no actual betterment of these countries that we love so deeply. How do we, at the very least, just start navigating Africa a lot more intentionally, a lot more care? Longer term, how do we actually start improving and bettering these countries? The president of Uganda, Museveni, said that all of you Gen Z, what are you guys doing? All I hear is vibe, vibe, vibe. When I was 26 years old, we were leading freedom movements. I'm sorry, but he's not wrong. Martin Luther King Jr., Nelson Mandela, they were both 26 when they led freedom movements in their countries. Damn, what the fuck are we doing? It really is vibe, 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 vibe. I'm gonna be honest, I don't have the answers. I work in Senegal. I have a handbag manufacturing facility in Senegal where my bags are made for my bread and Nima Iris, but I'm building infrastructure in Africa and I still think I can be doing so much more. I just want to use my platform to start a conversation to recognize that this is not okay. We cannot keep navigating December every year like this. Something has to change.
So what would have killed Anthony Joshua is a stationed truck. You see, a few months ago here, we were talking about Dangote truck. You remember Fina's sister? It is the same truck. Now, this time around, it's not Dangote truck. It was a station truck on Ibadan Expressway that Anthony Joshua car ran into. 2 people has been confirmed dead. Anthony Joshua is currently at the hospital with minor injury. Because the same thing happened in Abuja recently, that the truck was stationed and the car ran into it and the guy died. Now, what would have killed Anthony Joshua again today is the same truck. You see those trucks park on the road and no caution, nothing, they will just park and you'll be driving. By the time a car in front of you avoid it, maybe your own car will be on a very high speed, you will just run into it. That is what would have killed Anthony Joshua. Imagine conquering the whole world and coming into your own country to enjoy festive period and lose your life because of bad road and untrained drivers on the road. Anyway, let us hope for the best for Anthony Joshua, as we pray for a quick recovery and hope that the injury is not beyond what we are currently hearing. Anyway, if there are more updates, I will also bring for you.
Anthony Joshua said on The Breakfast Club that he prefers American black women. And the panties of 1.2 million black female listeners suddenly grew a damp spot. And I'll show the actual footage in the end. They love this nigga. Must be the accent. My wife and I was talking when he got up on that scale all greased up for the weigh-in. And her lips were still moving, but her mind was far the fuck away. I said, babe, I squeezed her thigh to get her attention and fuck up any daydream that might be taking place. Hell, this nigga not about to have my wife in no imaginary fuck. Nah, but I know better. My wife don't lust for no man but me.
My heart's telling me something. I'm more like logical, logistic with every move I make. So the woman I choose is more so a political decision to better my family, better the kids. It's easy to fall for lust and temptation.
So what do you like? You have your perfect specimen of a woman that you want?
American women are nice. American women are nice.
Black American women?
Yeah. Black American women.
White American women?
Black American women.
Oh, you like the sisters?
Yeah.
My brother. I'm gonna shake your hand with a bleep.
We have updates in the tragic car crash involving Anthony Joshua. The fatal car crash claimed the lives of two people who we now know to be his strength and conditioning coach Sina Evolve Gami and his close friend Latif. Badu Jack, who is a 3-division boxing world champion, confirmed on Instagram that Latif, aka Lats, was one of the two people killed. In fact, Joshua's last Instagram story before the crash was with Lats playing ping pong. The Federal Road Safety Corps in Nigeria said preliminary reports show that Joshua was in the backseat of a black Lexus truck, which was suspected to be going over the speed limit. Several boxers shared their condolences, including Chris Eubanks and Jake Paul. We will continue to update with anything we learn.
Information is out on the two victims that passed away in a deadly car crash that Anthony Joshua survived. Come to find out, it was his strength and conditioning trainer and his personal trainer. But not only that, they were his very close friends. As you guys know, they were on a trip in Nigeria when one of the tires of the vehicle popped. That's when the driver lost control and smashed right into a bus. Joshua miraculously survived because he was on the driver's side, but his friends did not. Jake Paul reached out too, even though the internet is trying to blame him for this accident, saying that he sent out the hit. One thing I know for sure, AJ need to get into some therapy, because even if his body's completely fine, mentally, it is not going to sit well seeing two of your friends pass away before your eyes. Because in some of the uncensored images that they got floating around the internet, you literally see them limped on the floor. You even have some people saying that somebody needs to be held accountable for this. What I'm saying is, I hope that bro is able to recover, and I hope that his mental health is okay. What do you guys think about this? And rest in peace to them.
Hey, so breaking news, Anthony Joshua, the young, British boxer who defeated Jake Paul in their highly publicized Netflix boxing match, was in a car crash in Nigeria, and two people, lost their lives. No, I don't think Anthony Joshua was behind the wheel, but that's all I know so far. I think that's all the public knows so far at the making of this video. They did show a video of him, being assisted out of the Jeep. You know what I'm saying? Praise to him. Praise to the families of the lost ones who died in that car crash. Yeah, that's crazy, bro. That's crazy.
This Anthony Joshua car accident situation just goes to show you how important, limited, and fragile life is. Do not take a fucking day for granted. Always live each day to the best and happiest of your abilities, because you never truly know when it's going to be your last. So now, instead of spending New Year's with his friends and family, he now has to be planning funeral arrangements for his two best friends that he lost. Sina and Lats were two lives tragically taken in that car accident situation. Sina was AJ's strength and conditioning coach. Lats was his personal trainer. And by looking at this picture, ain't no way in hell no one was going to survive that wreck. Now, this is a diagram of the car accident in which the vehicle hit a parked truck. Anthony Joshua, who's highlighted in red, was sitting in the back seat left side of the car, while his two best friends were sitting on the right side of the car in the front seat and the back seat. And again, he is truly blessed and lucky as hell to be alive, because looking at this photo, anybody sitting in the front seat or the right side of the front seat, that car got pancaked, sandwiched, and smushed in. If you showed me a picture of that car, I'd be like, there's no way there's no survivors. Here's photos of Nigerian residents helping him get out of the back seat of the car accident. Again, this just goes to show you how quick and fast life comes at you. Just 2 weeks ago, he knocked out Jake Paul and made close to $100 million before taxes, to now almost dying and losing his 2 best friends. And I can't even imagine the mental state or shock that he's currently in after getting the news his best friends are now dead. And that he survived death, but his 2 best friends unfortunately couldn't miss an appointment that no human being can reschedule. And for anybody to even dare say, oh, this could have been avoidable, they were on fucking vacation. They were enjoying their time with each other, with family members, with friends, going into the new year. Just how millions of other people are planning to do right about now. It is literally a fucking blessing and a privilege to always walk out your house in the morning and come back in it at night. Because a lot of people don't end up coming back home. And now these 2 unfortunately suffered that heartbreaking fate. So man, prayers up to Anthony Joshua, prayers up to Lats and Sinner. I can't even imagine or begin to fathom what he's going through, and the family members of these 2 men are going through. Imagine their mom, their dad, their brother, sister, aunt, niece, nephew, uncle, cousins, getting that phone call saying that your loved one was tragically killed in a car accident. Your heart and soul literally leaves your body hearing something devastating and tragic like that. So yeah, man, prayers up. Prayers up. Sending my thoughts, condolences to them and their family.
That car crash that AJ was in is definitely spiritual, bro. No one can tell me different, I can't lie. No one can tell me different. You mean to tell me 2 days ago, or a couple of days ago, Anthony Joshua was celebrating a big ass fight he had against Jake Paul, yeah? Bro was going viral all over the internet, yeah? A couple of days later, car crash, 2 people die, he's the only survivor. What? Nah, this is spiritual, bro. Spiritual.
The boxer Anthony Joshua was injured in a fatal car crash. This happened in Nigeria, guys. The 2 people he was with didn't make it. What I'm trying to understand is, how did Joshua suffer minor injuries, but the 2 people he was with didn't make it? Now, remember, guys, he was in the back of an SUV. So, you know, people in the back, I guess he had a seatbelt on, because if not, he would have probably went through the front, right? But the 2 people in the front did not make it, guys. This is wild. They saying that the car hit a stationary vehicle, which means that the car wasn't moving. It must have been parked or something. What I'm trying to understand, guys, is how did they hit a parked car and did it make it? How fast were they really going? And then people are saying that the crash came after he knocked out the YouTube star, Jake Paul. Why would they say that? You know why? Because they're just telling you that he had a fight with Jake Paul, and then 2 weeks later, he happened to get into a car crash. But he's okay, you know? Something's going on here, guys. Something that I don't know nothing about, because nothing's going on here, guys. This is for entertainment purposes only. And people get into accidents. And I'm happy that Joshua's okay. My condolences to the 2 people that didn't make it. I don't know, guys. Let me know what you think about this, because I don't know what to think about this. I'm out.
This is not what I want to wake up to.
Breaking news coming into us, the news from police in Nigeria that Anthony Joshua, the 36-year-old Olympic gold medalist and 2-time heavyweight champion boxer, has been injured in a car crash.
This is what happens when Black women loves you. You're protected. I think that's part of our Black girl magic. Like, he survived and he's like in the middle of this chaos. Does this kind of low-key look like that Marvel stance? You know, the do you want to mention that 2 people's lives were taken? They're probably cheating on their wives. Statistically, I don't know. I wasn't there. It did happen in Nigeria, and guys, protect our man. Also, because I know I can't prove this, I have a hint of a feeling that the Loken family has something to do with this. Said you break my jaw, I'll take you. I don't know. Allegedly, guidelines. Anthony Joshua is fine.
He has sustained minor injuries, but is, quote, fine.
He kind of needs to kind of like chill for a little bit. Who works on the Monday after Christmas before New Year's? Chill. Also to Anthony Joshua, sending more good vibes your way.
Man, breaking news and prayers up for Anthony Joshua, boxing megastar that was involved in a fatal crash in Nigeria, of which he survived. Tragically, I believe 2 lives were lost is the report. I believe 2 to 3 people walked away with non-deadly injuries, Anthony Joshua being one of those individuals. You may remember Anthony Joshua from the major Netflix fight versus Jake Paul just 2 weeks ago. If you've been to Nigeria, been on those roads, I am Nigerian. it's self-governed. There are not really speed limits. They are speed recommendations. The drivers out there and the traffic out there oftentimes is wild, something you can't comprehend with a Western mind or Western ideology when we have speed limits that people respect, when we have cops that might pull you over for speeding. In Nigeria, it is very, very, very dangerous. Send your prayers out to those who lost loved ones, and send your prayers out for quick and swift recovery to those that were injured, including Anthony Joshua.
Yo, Anthony Joshua just got in a deadly car crash out there in Nigeria, and this is what we know so far. This morning, he and two of his personal trainers / best friends were traveling on the Lagos-Ibadan Expressway when the unthinkable happened. Police reports are saying due to excessive speed, they collided into a stationary truck, killing both trainers upon impact. This is video of them removing AJ from the truck. He survived with minor injuries, but many people is calling this sickening and eerie, being that it's only 2 weeks after the Jake Paul fight. This was only a few hours before everything went down.
Let me show you the streets of Nigeria. Oluwasina, the first Iranian ever to step foot in Nigeria.
Hey, 2 times this year as well. That's crazy. April, December.
That's why you're called Oluwasina now, bro.
Lord Jesus Christ, I'm asking you to wrap your hands around as many people as you can going into the 2026 new year. We never know who number the graveyard gonna call next.
We are sending our prayers to Anthony Joshua, 36-year-old British boxer who just survived a fatal car accident in Lagos, Nigeria at 11 a.m. We learned that 2 people were actually killed in this accident. They traveled to Nigeria with Joshua. I'm sure he is so devastated right now. Here's some footage from the scene. The fact that the former heavyweight champion survived that accident is incredible. And not only that, the roads in Nigeria are very dangerous. It's been said that it could have possibly been some speeding or just some changing of lanes, but they hit a stationary truck. God definitely has his hands on AJ, but let's just continue to pray for him because he lost 2 people in his home country. So this is just very devastating and not the best news, but we're happy that he walked out of that vehicle and was able to be treated at the hospital.
So Anthony Joshua got in a car accident in Africa or something. It either says 2 people lost their lives or 2 people were injured. I remember. Either they lost his lives and he was injured. Yeah. And instead of people being like, oh man, hope people are okay, it was like, well, he must have pissed somebody off for winning that Jake Paul fight. Y'all here, man. Y'all here.